I'm Dr. Kemi Lumayo. It's the 28th of November 2023. Pharmacist, journalist, and PR specialist on the Mohbad case, IJ Mohbad. It is very important that Nigeria knows by now that there's no credible judiciary in that country. If you get a judge that's going to give a verdict on a case where there's a murder involved, it is quite rare. Most of the time, and I'll tell you this because I'm a daughter of a high-ranking politician and I've seen a lot in my lifetime within politics, murder, and a lot of things in Nigeria. If you have connections to politicians, you know what I'm saying. Now, the Timothy Adegoke case was the simple case of a young Oshu man who was going to take exams at OAU, stayed at a hotel, and they killed him in there. Okay, they used his body parts for rituals, but they were caught. Chief Adegoke, who has been sentenced to death, who orchestrated the whole plan, okay, is a very powerful figure. And when it comes to money, money buys anything in Nigeria. When they said they took him to Abuja, for some time over there, some of you thought, oh, he was in police custody. He was in a hotel. There were a lot of things you didn't know. When his family came to me, begging me to interview him so that he can get some kind of positive thing, I said, I don't do that kind of journalism. A lot of you assume that I do that. Oh, they've paid her, they do that. No, I don't. Okay, I don't do PR. I don't do image laundering. That's what they call it. I only do news and investigations. Fumi Falana orchestrated a major thing that Nigerians must speak out about. Fumi Falana's wife, she became a SAN yesterday, senior advocate of nonsense. Falls the bad guy's mother, was the one that wrote the charge in the inquest in September not to allow journalists in there and the public. When the inquest started, we started seeing members of the public inside the court with phones recording. Mrs. Falana's plan was well orchestrated by her husband, Femi Falana. And sometimes what our parents do affects us, if you don't know that. Mr. Falana wanted his wife. He didn't want to be in the forefront. He put his wife there to go for Marlian music. Some of you there is working for Naira Marley. I don't even talk to Naira Marley. I have not talked to him but one time in my life in person. And of course online. Naira doesn't talk to me. Even before the NDLEA stuff. I'm just doing my job as a journalist. You see, Mr. Falana orchestrated this plan that his wife must go after Marlian music. This is what they wanted to do. To go after Marlian music, to collapse the label and do all that stuff. Get in the money for Wumi. Unfortunately, they warned him. Who are they? I'll tell you that later. They warned him not to do that. First of all, his son, Falls the Bad Guy, will be cancelled forever if he ever went after Marlian music. Second of all, there are very, very big fans of Marlian music on the street, and some of them are thugs, cultists, and very dangerous. If Falana's wife comes after Marlian music, they can harm her, even kill her, or even Falana, or even Falls. In Nigeria, they kill people every day. All they do is you make it look like an accident. Because you want to prosecute a case doesn't mean you have to go all out for a record label and not do your investigation. I hear a lot of you telling me that, Dr. Kemi, but you said Mohbad died of drug overdose in the beginning. But you said something was moving in his stomach. But you said, shut the fuck up and listen to how investigative journalism works. But you said. Investigative journalism is on the news desk. An investigative journalist investigates what's at hand. A private investigator investigates people behind their back and they don't even know. A police investigator investigates with forensics, things that we don't have access to. Hair, blood, body fluids. Now, if the police investigator wants to distort the investigation, the investigative journalist still has a reason to continue doing their own. This is why I don't honor police invitations. Police invitations are just a way to arrest a journalist and, have them confess or talk about what they're doing. I don't play that game. That's not how I was trained. I was trained in the United States, and I will continue to tell you that I was trained in the United States, not in Nigeria. Now, let me just tell everybody right now, Nigerians must not accept what Mrs. Falana is about to do. She was the one behind the whole toxicology test being taken abroad. Nigerians must not accept the toxicology test when it comes back. We don't care what's in it. Even if they tell me there's colloids inside that toxicology test that Mohbad smoked and it killed him, we're not accepting it. Toxicology tests do not leave, the country. It goes from the pathologist's office to a hospital, toxicology lab, or to a lab that's independent. This is why I'm using my medical expertise to explain to you, the ordinary layman. It is very important for you to know how medicine works. I did a lot of helping with the NDLEA to get people into rehab. People cried and came to me, so many problems. 18 months. And I was one of the people that orchestrated going to the rehab. Call this rehab, call the help center, everything. What do you think they do when people go into rehab? First thing they do is they're going to check their blood or body fluids to detect what drugs are in there so they'll know how to treat them. Just like when Mohbad said they gave him a bottle of water to drink with something in it. That was his detox medicine when they went to do detox. Don't forget, I keep saying this. Many things are done underground, undercover that you don't know about. They wanted to prosecute them for the amount of drugs they found in the house. Every one of them. I was the one that begged NDLEA not to do prosecution. Because two of those artists are very famous, Mohbad and Zinoliski. And they will not be able to get visas to travel abroad to so many Afrobeat shows. I did my part. Nara never thanked me till today. But at the end of the day, they went to rehab. Zinoliski went to rehab. When he came out, he did a PSA. If you missed it, you missed it. Don't open your fucking mouth and start abusing me. Some of you love my work. Some of you just go out there and abuse me. All right? Yabo Jo is not working. She's out of the loop. Nobody wants anything to do with her. Let her continue what she's doing online. But this is not for her. Oriyomi Hamzat is a Yoruba broadcaster. If you want to follow him, follow him. He does not speak English. So don't go to his page and say speak English. And don't use arrogance. I don't have money and time. It takes money and time to do things. My Igbo and my non-Yoruba speaking people who are from other parts of Africa, if many of you donated and supported me more as an investigative journalist that's independent, maybe I'll be able to do translation of everything Oriyomi is saying over there. So please learn how the system works. Do not accept Mohbad's toxicology test when he came back. Because his autopsy says there was a laceration in his neck. Somebody stabbed him. All right, I'm not fighting for Mohbad. Make sure you have that in your head. I'm not part of justice for Mohbad. Don't insert a journalist into a story. That's a no-no and an ethic in journalism. Journalists must never insert themselves in the story. I'm not getting involved in inserting myself. That's what happened with your Romani kids. Everybody's like, oh, and she's a mother. I'm not a mother when I go out. I'm a journalist. I'm heading towards 29.8 years, which is almost 30 years. So I'm going to tell you guys now. All right, one more time. Don't accept whatever they bring into that court on December 6th as the toxicology test for Mohbad. It is fake. There was no toxicology test that went out of the country. They're not going to tell me something went out of the country. They're going to give me, even if it went out of the country to some lab in New York or something, don't believe it. It's been altered. They've switched blood, body fluids. They've altered it between the pathologist's office and the airport. And whoever that pathologist is, shame on you. Shame on you. You're part of the mistakes in the Nigerian system. Shame, shame, shame. And I'm going to find out the name of that pathology. I'm going to call everybody out. Mrs. Falana, you really goofed up, all right? You really fucked up. You're a senior advocate of nonsense. You and your husband. You eat from the government, and then you come to the people as if you want to help them. Yeah. For those of you that speak Yoruba, Falana Yahweh, government don't feed one. One by government, every government, Jonathan government, Buhari government, one by one share beton. Or my what's doing you allow for human rights. I want to support you. I want to buy one oppressors in Shishe. I'm not going to repeat this. Do not accept that toxicology test. Woman, submit your DNA. They must find out your role in that next stabbing. Thank you. I'm Kemi Olunloyo.